Yeah.
Recorded.
It's fine. I would tell her that. She's my entertainment.
All right, so is it just you guys today, or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You are.
Yep. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We can start with Mona. Alrighty, so Miss Lindsay is coming back. She is. Morgan's been out of bed. So her hire date will be effective tomorrow. So basically what we're going to do, so her hire date will be effective tomorrow. Dave and I are working on like the actual contract piece that will then come back.
So I'll do this. I'll type up a resolution and stuff.
Okay.
Because we usually normally approve it by resolution. But for now.
So, yeah, so her effective hire date will be as of tomorrow, and then she'll do her like orientation and stuff like that with Kirsten, and do a little bit of part-time stuff while she finishes up with JPS, because they have some people on vacation that she was gonna cover for, and then she'll begin like full-time August 1st.
When?
August 1st.
Okay. So we can do a motion today to,
Yeah, to make her hire date effective
and
tomorrow.
then we'll do the
1st.
resolution formal once she's full-time with the
Yes.
contract, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, just as long as her effective date is July 1st, so that way she doesn't have like a gap in her health insurance and stuff for the kids.
So I would say we'll just do a motion today to approve Lindsay Upa part-time effective July 1st.
And then full-time.
And then
effective
she will come back full-time and then we'll do her employee contract later. Since I don't have any of the works, do we know what she's gonna start out at for hourly wage though?
For hourly
payroll?
wage?
Yeah.
Yes, 26.
26. So we'll need that in the motion too, so.
And then when I bring the contract back in, because Dave's working on that now, it will have.
All that, but we still need something for us to get her into payroll now.
So
You look like you're,
Just wait.
got some wheels turning, basically, what you.
Well, if I understand, hire her for the first 30 days part-time, she won't have insurance
No,
part-time.
so here's the thing, so she's still working for DHS. So
Okay,
she'll have insurance through DHS.
okay,
So our insurance doesn't start until you have 30 days of
Prior.
employment.
Yep.
okay.
Yes.
So that way there won't be.
Even though she's part-time.
Yep. She won't count that as her full 30 days yet for the July 1st date. Because you have to work so many hours too to be.
Yeah, so then the question will become, because I know I talked to Kirsten about this, so yeah, because
So if we put her effective date July 1st, and depending on how many hours, if
Yeah,
she's
so I
on
just-
family or single, for her premium to come out, if she wants us to start.
because she won't be on our insurance until August 1st.
But that's what I'm saying, we'll need to still take out her premiums for July, because it's always you take them out the month
Gotcha.
before.
So I just need to know then from you guys, how much she needs to work in July.
Okay, to get her premiums at
Yes.
least covered. I think it's minimum of 32,
Over the whole month?
no, per week, but Nancy will be able to tell you for the month wise. Because then we have the holiday in there too, Monday.
So how did that work? We didn't do that for me though, like when I started,
Depends on what you put in your contract. You know, sometimes it was,
So how do we need to word?
because usually your insurance coverage don't start until August 1st, but we're still,
Uh-huh.
so like if your start date was August 1st, your insurance coverage wouldn't start till September. Because we start taking all that out ahead of time.
So I'll work with
Nancy
Nancy.
and Kirsten, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
because I know she's not gonna be able to work 30 hours a week.
No. And if her insurance cover carries over, if she's still working for DHS full-time for July, she should be covered for the month of August by then.
Well, but if she's done July 31st, Like,
So
it
we need to
won't,
talk to her and see when her end coverage will be there.
yeah, because I think hers is the same as mine was. It was like, so if your start on the 1st, ends on, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, so, because that's the biggest thing is we can't have, I mean, in order for her to come back, we can't have a lapse. I mean, she's got 3 little ones, so. So you still got some things wheeling around in there, Tracy. You look deep in thought.
I'm kinda like Haley, if they talk to DHS, even if she'd have to pay her 20% or whatever they pay for the month of August, you know what I mean, out of her pocket or write them a check, that she'd stay on that insurance, and that way, that's one way to work it. They, between Lindsay and you'd have to work that out with
Yeah.
DHS where she's employed right now, see if they might tell you to go fish too, so,
Yep,
you know,
and we'll talk with Kirsten and Nancy, because I'm not sure.
yeah.
But I know there's a minimum of hours worked that she has to have in order for us to cover insurance.
Okay, well, yeah.
It's
So,
gotta be a month ahead too.
yeah, that's why, because if she's not
And that's
starting,
kind of why we wanted her starting today or speak tomorrow.
yeah, so that way, because she has to have 30 days of employment before she's even eligible,
Kind of like we did with Kirsten the day, one day or whatever.
Mm-hmm,
so
okay.
we just need to figure that piece of it out. But then, and towards the end of July, I mean, she'll be able to work more hours. She just didn't want to leave them high and dry.
Okay.
Okay.
So I would still say if the motion would be approve hire for Lindsay effective July 1st, will work temporary,
We'll
part-time,
part-time
temporary,
hours through-
part-time hours through August 1st.
Yep.
And we'll come back and address her employee contract at a later time.
Okay,
Yep, as soon as that gets written up, I will bring that back
okay,
to you
then,
guys to,
the next question I have is, how does this work with our HR that we didn't advertise?
we did,
Oh, you did?
yeah.
Oh, you're way ahead of me.
Yep, we have that
Okay.
on the web and we did all that stuff.
Okay, no problem,
Yep, the day that Adriana resigned, I promptly
okay,
came down
Got it.
and talked to Dave and talked to HR and got it posted and
okay,
did it all on the old up and up.
got it. All right, now, do you understand what she wants?
Yeah,
Okay,
So what were your questions, Gary?
don't have any.
I did get the consolidated levy rates, so there's still, with the county stuff, there's still like, I just got another email now that trying to get them in the system with the mental health stuff, but.
And then at some point, I know Tracy and I talked about this with fund balance stuff. We may have to come up with an additional project.
Well, I have that kind of discussion on here today too. I'm gonna amend the service area currently to get some spending authority in places we didn't have, but I'm going to probably need a budget amendment fairly early this fiscal year, because we have some grant money and all that kind of stuff.
Well, so the crappy part, we had, approved that additional 20 for the salary stuff. Well, when I talked to Ron, so you remember that CIT training that we had approved? Well, it wasn't, from my understanding, it wasn't getting paid out of last fiscal year, so it was carrying over to this fiscal year, right? So it got re-put in there.
Yeah, 'cause- and then we got reimbursed from the prior.
Yes, well, from my understanding, and Gina's going through everything, and I've asked Ron for the invoices. From my understanding, everything, so the training is in August, everything was paid out last fiscal year. Or like this fiscal year, which means we put in
Too much for that.
67.5 for the CIT training for this fiscal year, that will not get used.
Because I think back
Because
in
it was all
March,
paid
we didn't know
last
what
year.
was gonna happen, if they were gonna cancel it again.
So, and because it was already earmarked for that CIT training, we couldn't take that 20,000 out of that.
And use it for something.
Yes. So, once this fiscal year stuff all gets finalized, we will have an idea if that 67.5 is basically just up in the air and we need to come up with an alternative project for that. So just to give you guys a heads up, so that way we're not
I know we just
sitting
sent
on
a-
a significant amount more. And from my understanding, if I understood Ron correctly, what we were told was gonna be like almost 68,000, ended up being like 14,000.
for the cost of going.
Yes. So we also have that. larger.
Well, I know we just did that quarterly report to the region yesterday,
Mhm.
so hopefully they'll get all their numbers, like you said, and
Yep, so just giving you guys a heads up, that will be coming back once we get everything like finalized and we know exactly what number we're looking at, that we'll have to have another conversation of what do we do with this money that we thought was going to be spent and is not. So if there's something specific, I know we had talked about like the parking lot or, you know, but
I can spend it.
so potentially, you know, there may be some things that we need to talk about sooner than later, so that way we're not 11th hour trying to figure this out.
Okay,
nope.
all right, getting back to it.
You gonna approve that motion, Gary?
Yeah.
Lindsay Upa, part-time, effective July 1st at $26 an hour. And we'll come back August 1st full-time and we'll approve her employee contract at a later date.
Sounds good to me.
My goal is to have that to
Well,
you guys
even
before
before
August
August
1st, so
but,
that way,
yeah.
because he said he was gonna have to be by the end of the week, so that way Kristen and I could go over it next week.
Okay.
So
All
it will
right.
be to you
David?
guys before August 1st to,
David,
yes.
okay. Okay,
Yeah, just simply because of the, Kirsten and I talked about like the legality
Yeah.
piece of it, but we had told, her and I had talked about it and told him like what we wanted in it.
okay,
And then we'll review it, tweak it, do whatever, and then, yeah,
okay,
I'll bring it back to you guys.
all right.
Sounds like a winner.
So what she said, right?
What she's got wrote down.
I got it.
Okay, I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
All right, is there anything else you need to cover before I go?
No, because like I said, be thinking about that budget amendment date, because I'll try to get some dates in mind, but I know you're one of them. But with hiring the HR and all that, we have to
Mhm.
do some stuff, so.
Well, yeah, well, you and I will get there and we'll try and figure out
Yeah,
what we need to do in regards to
well, Gina's doing that other report, so,
everything.
yeah.
So.
All right, thank you.
Have a wonderful day,
Next time you bring
guys.
the puppy, I want to see her.
She may, depending upon if my family's gone again, she'll come with me one day next week. But yeah, I got special instructions yesterday to, you're supposed to go to the auditor's office with her.
Did you?
Yeah, I can't remember the security guard's name, but he didn't even seem to notice her.
Mark?
Probably Larry or Mark.
No, it wasn't Mark, it was
Okay,
Larry.
Larry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of, he's like, where you headed? Auditor's office? Like, oh my gosh, just.
Gina's got a big golden retriever puppy, so she.
I was gonna say, I was up there the day that she.
Yeah.
Well, Ben's daughter was up there,
Oh,
so no one really else got to touch it, because she just kind of scooped her up and it was over. So, all right, thank you guys.
Hey, Mom.
So that would come in Monday afternoon, so I thought I'd just get that done too.
No problem.
How many hours?
Doesn't it say it on the front?
Says,
Maximum? I don't think there's changed.
10 hours a week. So moved.
okay, I'll second it. It's the law enforcement agreement with the city of Norway. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I can't believe that is 10 hours a week for the city of Norway, and Atkins is just,
That's what was on yesterday, right? Yeah. Alright, so I have a couple more resolutions that are just formality when we do the interoperating fund transfers. So like I transfer from general basic to secondary roads, general sub, rural basic to secondary roads. So what I do is I put those amounts that we use in our start of our budget in there. So I need you guys to formally approve those. And then the other one is the transfer of funds from local option sales tax. Sometimes we move them into our regular funds so we can operate that way, but it's still tax relief. So by formality, we have to do the resolutions. So I'll have them all tweaked up and ready in the minutes next week, but I'll email them out ahead of time.
Okay.
Because I gotta tweak that one amount. I gotta ask Myron on something, but I just kind of want it done before we get into July 1st. So
you want to do that
yeah,
now?
both of them by resolution.
And them two numbers.
So those are
Gary,
those are the two separate ones. This is
you
number
can read
6.
it one at a time.
Yeah, number 6, Gary. Because the one I took to capital projects, that's for conservation on that one. So I just want to make sure the amounts varied a little bit this year. Which I was talking with Melinda yesterday, so we're gonna have to probably open another bank account for that American Relief Fund because it's gonna be big. So I talked to one banker, I'm gonna talk to one other. Some of them don't like those large amounts, so but we're getting prepared for that. Because it can be interest bearing too, I found out.
It can be.
Mhm.
Okay. But the interest is only, what, 0.5%?
Yeah.
Maybe
But
1 if you're
still.
lucky.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's worth quoting it out.
I would say it would be. It'd be foolish not to.
Well, and that's kind of why I need to know the interest rates too, because when we do that special assessment out there on that road.
I know, that's why it was at the landfill anyway. That
Mhm.
we just can't get no interest anywhere.
Mhm.
And actually, there's banks don't even want to.
That's what I mean, some of them, that's why I had to check around, because I don't know, but some of them were even gonna mess with
Yeah,
us.
they don't even want to fool with it.
You know, so, like some of those yesterday, me and Melinda tweaked, because the region's closed, so we had to take that one off. And then the US Bank one was changed, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, Gary, you already made a motion there.
So moved.
Read it on your agenda.
By
On your
separate,
agenda.
two separate resolutions.
Just read it on the second.
I would make a motion to approve the transfer of funds, inter-transfer resolutions. It would be, let's see.
The numbers are at the top, 21,
Yeah.
51, and 52.
2152. This one here.
Yeah, 2151 and 2152.
Okay, I'll second that then. Resolution, so
Deershank, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Okay. Thank you.
You want us to sign this right now?
I know, because I'm gonna, like I said, I might change that one amount with Myron,
Okay.
but this is, I had person with her HR department. Because originally we did the budget back in March, I had put a lump sum in Department 99, because
Yep.
we didn't know.
Yep.
So I only put salary worth of 60,000 in there and the withholdings. So to get us going for July 1st, I need you guys to amend within the service area. So I'm gonna move that spending authority from Department 99 into Department 50 to get us going. But again, since her salary is more than that, that'll be coming down the pipeline. We're gonna have to do a budget amendment.
Right,
Because right now I can only move the spending authority that I have in there.
right.
So we're gonna have to add more at the budget amendment. But I have that service area I'm playing around with, and then I talked with Kara with the VA. Hers is all within her same department, but she's moving some sums from one line items to another. So she's not changing her total bottom. So she's one of them, and then, like I was telling Mona, the RA, the Rural Access Center. So it's still within their
Budget.
budget, but I just had to keep things within on our paper documents and what's at the state level.
Okay.
So that is what number for amending service area, and that will be by resolution too. So
Okay.
I don't have to type it all out, moving from Department 99 to Department 50 and the lump sum, etc. So,
Okay.
and that'll all be typed up and ready for you guys to look at.
Okay.
But I just kind of wanted to get it going so it's effective before tomorrow. Because I have to move all this into our financials by tomorrow.
Gary, you want me, I'll do this one if you don't.
Okay.
I make a motion to amend service area for F year 22.
Fiscal year 22. In fact, it starts July 1st.
Yep.
Second.
Okay. By resolution.
Yeah.
Beer Shank, aye.
Seaman, aye. And Dave.
And then number 5, like I said, we're gonna have to be thinking of that in the near future because I'm gonna have to get that budget hearing set, publish,
Yep.
and get all these
Yep.
amounts changed. So
Yep.
like for the American Relief Plan,
Yep.
I'll put spending authority in there for that.
That hasn't come yet,
No,
right?
they're
Okay.
still trying to, it's like a hard process. I had to go get my passport and have it in hand the other day. I have to prove my identity and they're scanning my face on this. Yeah, I have to put up my personal ID, my driver's license, my social security number in order for us to verify my identity with the US Treasury for that lump sum to go in our banks. So it's a process, but we're supposed to have it. So it's gonna be at least 2.5 million almost. So then that, we'll wanna put spending authority in there for that. So that would be part of the amendment. I know Conservation had a little stuff she might wanna talk to.
And this is money that we've never gotten before.
No.
Right.
So where are we gonna?
Well, that's why we created that committee, makes it earlier, remember? So we're gonna start doing some committee meetings and discussing some ideas and projects that are covered under this, what we feel like we should do with that money. Because it's, again, we're gonna have so many years to spend it. If you don't spend it, we're gonna have to give it back. But it has to be certain things, tax relief. Some of it, they're telling us that you should have had it budgeted for regardless in the first place. And so say like we had a project, Ben wants to do all new, the wiring for us. No, he already planned to spend that money. We can go ahead and use this money for stuff like that. It's infrastructure. Lex and I talked about doing the scanning of all those old books, supervisor minutes and stuff so that we have backup. And it's gonna be searchable documents, that kind of thing. And then the E911, the radios, we're still, they haven't said yes or no whether that's a covered project or not. I'm hoping it is, but even if it isn't, then we can offset some of the other big costs. So when we take on that project, it'll outweigh the other. So,
By the way, I've heard nothing but positive about the radios.
yes, I just talked to a couple counties last week. But you know, even so, that's only gonna be good for 7 to 10 years and you're gonna have to do it again. So we're gonna have to start, even once we get that done, we're gonna have to start budgeting for that next time and putting money aside. Or go into obligation debt again. So, I talked to the GO debt guy down there. He's already sent me stuff on it, so. And you do not have to pass it by, on an election because it's an essential service.
Okay.
So, yeah. So yeah, a lot of counties are doing it right now, so that's good because we're all doing it together. So that's kind of where we are. So I really don't have a date in mind. I want to make sure like everybody has their ducks in a row before we get publishing the amendment.
Well, the only thing is, to me, is somewhat pressing is
Yeah.
Kirsten's.
Like I said, we're gonna have a pushing here going.
Yeah.
So I'm
Like,
fine.
there's nothing there,
Right.
so.
As long as we have the amendment done before we go over, that's when you get in trouble. And I want to talk to the new person on the watershed too, to make sure, I want them to look at our numbers. To make
Okay.
sure we have enough in that,
Okay.
because that's one of them that we went over on, which we couldn't control, but
Okay, because I know Adam mentioned yesterday that the state told him they want you to start spending the 10%.
Yes.
That's in,
Yep.
spend that down before,
So that's what I need to find out, if that's that money I just subtract off of what we request from the state to reimburse us for the months, for the gags. So, yeah, I really gotta understand how that works.
yeah. And I guess Jennifer Fensel's gonna take over.
Yep. Well, Tom and John, like, I haven't even got reimbursed for the April, May gags yet. They haven't sent it in. Because he was gone and then they're backed up and I'm like, our fund down on that one. I mean, we have enough on the other funds to cover it, but it's not good at the end of a fiscal year to be in the hole on that one, so. Yeah. Cause he's done next week, right, Adam?
Yeah, Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so him and I have some emails going on right now, so.
Okay. And see, it slipped my mind yesterday, my fault, about Kristen said he should just return everything that's,
Right, because that's counties and it was used with the grant. So I agree, I don't think we can
We
sell
can't.
that back.
No.
Because then we're gonna have revenue in our funding, which
Yep.
we've already got reimbursed
Yep.
for.
yeah,
Yeah,
we can't do that.
yeah,
That's what she suggested, so.
yeah.
And I forgot yesterday,
No, Ben and I were discussing that too, so.
okay,
I guess computers are hard to get now.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And it wasn't just so much of what it is, it's just how the funding worked for it,
Yeah.
so.
How it was paid for.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have for today, so thank you guys for letting us finish up some stuff.
No problem.
Because like I said, Mona had reached out to me after the fact, when I posted, so.
Understood. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
All right.